What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Good View Woodworks channel. My name is Nathan, and we are live here at the shop. Well, the shop that we're using right now. We're going live. So from now on, for a little while, on Tuesdays, we're going to be at my full-time job, and I'm going to be working and because at home, obviously with the kids and stuff like that, I need a little extra time to work and stuff like that. So we're actually gonna be working here on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I'm trying to go live every Tuesday. Sorry about the shaky camera, it's my arm. I'm gonna start showing off some projects, and you guys chime in, tell me where you're chiming in from, okay? Here we go. All right, so we're working on this pour. This is our reef color right here. Jennifer says, hey Nathan and good viewers. What's up, Jennifer? How are you? How are you doing? This is a really cool color. I like the reef. Sabersaw says, sup Nate? What's going on? So got some black walnut and some purple, some reef. It's a really pretty color. I really like this color. Ricky, what's up, Ricky from Ohio? All right, so we're working on that. We got this in the mix. A lot of black walnut coming up. We have some bullets. This is actually not mine, but it's Justin. Have you seen him on our channel before? He's working on this project. Jennifer says she loves that color purple. Yeah, me too. So we have that one. We have another apple wood one here. Got some olive wood right there. And my GoPro and stuff is on this one. But if you guys have seen this one on Patreon, still haven't decided what color we're going to go with. But this is some highly figured curly walnut. You can kind of see that curl in the picture, but it's super pretty. So that is coming up as well. And then, got one more. Let's walk across the shop real quick. Here's my toolbox. Been working on this. This is the coffee table. I finally got it all sanded down, and we're ready for finish on the coffee table. Okay, so those are the major projects that we're working on right now. We have several that are coming up. This one is gonna look so pretty. This thing is kind of a beast though. Let's see if I can get it flipped over here. It's kind of a beast, super thick. Really pretty. Now it looks kind of clear, but it does have a blue hint to it. But this is gonna be my coffee table at my house. It's gonna be awesome. I can't wait. The burl is really pretty. All right, now I'm gonna make my way to the computer so that we can go over some Q&A. All right, those are the quick projects. If you follow me over at patreon.com, if you want to support the channel, you can go over on patreon.com/goodviewwoodworks and support the channel over there. I would recommend not doing super chats anymore. And the issue is because YouTube has changed their policies, and now they actually take 53% of the super chat, and the creators only get 47%. So yeah, that's kind of messed up. At least that's what I think anyway. Just want to show you a quick couple of projects that we did finish and that are actually for sale. Okay, so check these out. We got the apple wood charcuterie board. That one is for sale. And then we have the stormy black walnut charcuterie board. That one also is for sale. So those two are for sale right now. We're gonna get those packaged up. And then, I can't show the name, but somebody ordered a couple of rolls of tape, and they're gonna get that tape out today. Well, tomorrow. I'm gonna take it over to the post office tonight, so it'll be out tomorrow. So I'm gonna get set up on the computer here now that I've shown you guys everything, and then we'll get to Q&A. So you guys start saving up your questions. so that we can do Q&A. I noticed Worldwide Burl hit up a comment there. So hey guys, what's going on? I'm glad, dude. You guys rock when it comes to the burls, man. Super awesome. Saber Saw says super surprised that the Apple one hasn't sold. Well, that's just my fault because I haven't listed it yet. I got a whole bunch of other things, you know, coming up. So, oh, all right. So let me go ahead and set this down, and I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab myself a chair, get to some Q&A. All right, guys. So, bear with me while I get the camera set up. And let's see, let's get to some comments here real quick. Coleman says hello from Montana. Bruce says hi. Nate, excuse me. Peter Thompson from Sydney, Australia. What's up, Peter? Larry says hi from San Diego. Oh, Jennifer, sorry. I saw it so quick. It wasn't Worldwide Burl, it was Jennifer. Jennifer says, Worldwide Burl got me again. 2 new pieces of wood coming my way. Yeah, they mess with me all the time. I see some of their stuff all the time, and I'm like, man, I gotta have that. That's where all the stuff that I got from my coffee table came from Worldwide Burl. Bruce says, I was watching your video of where you get your slabs. Didn't know they were so dear. Man, wood is very pricey, yes. Yeah, wood is pricey, and really it's going up. I don't know about slabs, but as far as like construction grade lumber, going through the roof. 1/4 inch baseboard, like not baseboard, subfloor for flooring, like a 1/4 inch 4x8 sheet is like $40 something, $60, something like that. It was crazy. It's crazy. I saw it the other day at Home Depot. Doyle says, hey, good viewers from Austin, Texas. Leander, is that how you say it? Leander, Texas. What's up, Doyle? Steve No says, hello from Northern Michigan. He says, used more tape this week. It rocks. That's awesome, man. I'm so glad you like it. It's been really awesome with the tape because I use it all the time. I mean, a lot of this was for me to use. I wanted to come up with something that released better, but also wasn't as tacky. Now, we want it super tacky, right, so it doesn't come off, but sometimes when you tape over epoxy, it leaves like a residue. And so this one peels off just a little bit easier, but it still sticks really well. Also, it's 3 inches wide. Same amount on a roll, 3 inches wide. So it's $10, well, $9.99 a roll. And if you go look at Tyvek, you're talking like $13 to $17 a roll, and that's for 2 inches wide. Tyvek and tuck tape, which are the 2 main ones that I usually see for epoxy. Now, that's because it's sheathing tape, and it does what it's supposed to do for house wrap and stuff like that. So I would not replace Good View with that, but people use it for epoxy stuff all the time. And I think tuck tape was like $17 on Amazon, and Tyvek is like $13 or $14 at Home Depot for 2 inches wide. So you're saving a couple of bucks, and also you're getting more on there. You do less taping, so save time, save money, all that kind of stuff. So Steve No says, money well spent, your tape saves us money. Yeah, man, that was the whole goal, because I was like, man, this is super expensive. Is there any way I can cut the cost down? And so this is what we came up with. So hopefully you guys like it. Michelle, love your videos. It says Vero Beach, Florida here. What's going on, Michelle? I think this is the first time I've seen you on here. Welcome to the Good View Woodworks channel on a live stream. I don't recognize your name. If you've been on here, I apologize, but if not, welcome. Coleman says, which colors of yours are the color shifting ones? So that would be Tetra is one that's like a green to gold color. And then you have Macaw is the other one. Sorry, they're all like bird, like a couple of them are bird names. And then the Macaw goes from like a purple to a green, and then there's an orange to a red one Beta is how that one's pronounced. So we have those 3 right now, and I really like them. They're pretty cool. They work really well on a black background though. So a darker background works better, or like a very concentrated amount of pigment. If you do like light swirls, it needs to have a black background to really show up. Bruce says, at Peter Thompson, I cut firewood and this year has gone up. What's the price of firewood in Sydney? And then Steve Knows says, hit that like button, people. Yeah. So guys, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. So we have a lot of stuff going on at the Goodview Woodworks channel now. As a matter of fact, we're starting to look into building our own shop. It'll be nothing like this. This shop is massive. This is like 30,000 square feet right here. But we're gonna go with about 1,500 square feet as my personal shop. It'll be 30 feet wide, 50 feet long. I think that's all that I need for right now. But we're looking at building a shop here within the year. So I'm getting really excited about that. And hopefully you guys will come with us on the journey as far as that goes, because I have no idea what to do as far as groundwork. Now I am going to be helping with some of this stuff, but we're going to be hiring some of this stuff out too. So I'm really excited about that. Coleman says, thank you. That's good to know about the dark background. Yeah, with those color changing pigments, you definitely want to have a black background. Plus, when it comes to like automotive paint, when they use those chameleon colors or those color shifting pearls or whatever, they require a black base too to really get that. If you do a white base, it still shifts, but it kind of has a very dull, subtle shift. So you can play with colors to get it to shift differently. Obviously, different color backgrounds are going to make it shift differently. So hopefully that helps. Terrence Johnson says, hey, finally got you on a live for a short while. Do you ship to the UK? I don't normally, but I can. If you don't mind, the shipping cost will be a little higher for that. But I can do my best totally to ship that. Steve No says, my last table wound up with some small ripples, slight little lines across it. Do you think that's from being too cold in my barn? Possibly, but usually ripples come from being too hot. I don't know how thick you poured it, but yeah, it'll usually lay flat if it's too cold, but if you have like air blowing on it or wind blowing on it, it can make the ripples. Plus, if it's too hot, it's called suck back. It wants to shrink and it can create the ripples across the top too. But I doubt that it's because it's too cold. So, Ricky, what was the temperature in your shop? Just to ask. And Jennifer says, woohoo, big shop. Yeah, for sure. Jennifer, also, I didn't know if you got my last message over on Patreon, but whenever you want to set up our chat so we can go over some tortoiseshell stuff and just other questions, or just say hello or whatever, let me know. Those times are the times that I have available, so I really appreciate it too. Bruce says, just got onto some epoxy, 30 liters for $420. So I'm gonna ask you this. How many liters are in a gallon? 5? 3 and some change? I don't know liters. I'm not very good with that. More work for Trevor says, you're blowing up, man. Yeah, dude. Slowly, I mean, a slow blow up, but you know what? Really, that's the way that I kind of figured it would happen. The way that we wanted the channel to go is just that I want to give you guys as much free information as possible. My ultimate goal is to help you guys learn and save some money. And, you know, at first, when we first started posting the videos, it wasn't to go full time or anything like that. Until monetization happened and things just started to snowball. And so now I'm hoping that it will go one day. But I will say this, the job that I have right now is pretty awesome. So that's going to be difficult. That's going to be difficult. I love this job where I'm at too. So I don't know how to say the name, but Saurus Verte says, thanks for all the help. I had successful first river table because of you. Hey, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And that's kind of the goal here, right? Because everybody knows wood and epoxy is expensive. It's this really cool, really cool, but you know, it can be expensive. It's art, and you know, sometimes this art stuff is really expensive, and I want you guys to not have to go through some of the stuff that I went through, mistakes. If you guys can skip the mistakes and help you, that's kind of how I wanted to go about it, so you guys can not do that, but also learn at the same time, because some mistakes are really expensive. You know, break the bank. It'll help. It would cause you to not want to do that, but who wants to do that? Let's make it fun and productive at the same time. Steve Noah says, they were very fine lines that sanded off pretty easy. The pour is about 1/4 inch and it was 60 degrees. In my barn, no wind or fans. Incredible Solutions countertop. Okay, so there you go. So the reason why countertop. Now it says it can go a max of 1/4 inch, but usually that's designed for an 1/8 inch pour. So you went a little thick on the epoxy, and that's where the ripples came from. The temperature of the epoxy, because of the exothermic reaction, that's what caused the ripples. So 60 degrees is not cold when it comes to pouring epoxy. The perfect room temp is 72. Unless you pour it thicker, then you want to try to drop that temp as much as possible. So Bruce says 6.5 gallons, 450 bucks. That's great. Bruce, if you don't mind me asking, what brand of epoxy did you find? Like, what brand is it? And Steve knows as well. There's my problem. Thanks. No problem. Yeah, so you can obviously pour thicker. I would recommend, though, tabletop epoxy is a lot less forgiving because of that 1-to-1 ratio. It wants to set off much quicker. And so you don't really want to pour that thicker. Now, when it comes to the casting epoxy, because it takes so long to set up, you can pour that thicker as long as you have a fan. You try to drop the temperature. Tito, what's going on, Tito? Tito asks, how can I make a matte finish on the wood and a glossy in the epoxy resin? Best regards, nice job. Great question. We're gonna have a video coming out in the next couple of months on that exact thing. But here's kind of the trick to it. Is finish the wood, like sand it to 150 grit or whatever oil-based finish you're going to use, or like a polyurethane finish or whatever. But before you finish the wood, tape it off, and then sand the epoxy and buff it all the way through the grits, and then that'll be glossy and shiny. Then tape that off with some painter's tape and finish the wood. It's going to take some, you know, working with it. Actually, what I would do is probably just go ahead and sand through the grits with on the epoxy without taping off the wood. Then tape off the epoxy, finish it with your oil finish or your matte finish, whatever you're going to use. Let that set up, and then come back later and buff the epoxy to its high shine, and that'll be the best way to get a matte finish on the wood and a high gloss on, or a shiny gloss surface on the epoxy. Hopefully that helps. So weird, is it Weirdo E-Taz or Weird O-E-Taz? Says, I'm about to do my first coffee table. I'm afraid, LOL. It can be intimidating, but I have so many videos and so many resources there on YouTube that if you follow step by step how I teach it, then you should be okay. You should have a very successful coffee table build. Bruce Mayer says, Nate, I watch heaps of videos of big pours and they use lots of epoxy. They must have lots of money, or hey, get it cheap. So that epoxy is a real good price for me. Yeah, for sure. If you guys remember that big blue table that I did, that thing took almost, it was like 28 gallons of casting epoxy and 2 gallons of tabletop epoxy. So that thing took almost 30 gallons. It was like right around 30 gallons of epoxy. Now that joker was expensive. Jennifer said, did anyone see the recent YouTube video where the guy tested 13 different brands for clarity and hardness? I did. That was a great video. That dude has some really good stuff, and he's actually blowing up. I think he's passed me. And Jennifer pointed out Incredible Solutions did very well. Yes, it was in the top 3, and he didn't actually say which one was the best of the top 3. But you're talking about what was it? Incredible Solutions was 1, and then you had Super Clear, which was 2. It wasn't in order that way, but Super Clear did a really good job. And you guys remember the third one that was up there? Was it Epoxy, maybe? I can't remember. Steve No says, so how many companies actually make the epoxy? Why is there such a range in prices? That's a great question. There's actually it's a much smaller group of people who actually manufacture the epoxy. Then you have a lot of people who sub out the other stuff, and like they rebrand it and put it out there. And the reason why there's such a variance in prices is because of the additives in the epoxy. Like Super Clear, FGCI is the actual name of that company that makes Super Clear. It's Fiberglass Coatings Inc. They actually manufacture their own epoxy, and that's why they're the only ones that say that you can pour 6 inches deep. I really like that epoxy. I've used it before. It's really nice stuff. Incredible Solutions, they don't manufacture their own. They get it from a supplier, but they have worked together with the chemist to get like their own special blend. And so that's why I like theirs. Is it's a little bit less expensive, but if you guys saw all those 13 different epoxies, it was up there with the top guys, and so it did really well. Aaron Hungate says Wisebond was the third one, and if you guys know Wisebond, they've been in this game for a long time. So Jennifer also said Ecopoxy, and Ecopoxy also, I don't know if they manufacture their own stuff, but they also have a very good quality resin. But the difference between Ecopoxy and the reason why I call it Ecopoxy, they're saying it's eco-friendly. I think it's made from like soybeans or something. But they also have a pretty cool, pretty great product, that is. Bruce Mayer says, made here in Sydney, so get it easy, sent to me. Like, yes, Nate, I am buying straight from the manufacturer. And then Steve No says, I didn't mean to put you on the spot. No worries at all, guys. Great questions, man. I'm really digging these questions. I forgot to tell you guys. Incredible Solutions sent me an email, and they said that the discount or the coupon code is back up and running. So if you guys haven't bought Incredible Solutions through me before, like through my little outlet on YouTube where you click the link and go to Amazon, they finally got that link back up. So one of the issues that happened, if you guys remember on the news in Texas, they had this, like a couple of months ago, had this ice storm that came through and shut all the power down. They were out without power for like a couple of weeks. It was pretty bad. Well, they were like, they didn't have the backups that they needed, and so they would limit the power to certain sections of Texas. Like they would get power for a limited amount of time, then it would go out, and this city would get it, and this city would get it, and blah blah blah. And so Incredible Solutions, their chemist and the way that their manufacturer was in Texas, so supply was super low for a while, and now it's back up. So now the coupon code is back up and running. Steve No says, what's your thoughts on those new reusable mold boards? So I think that it's great. In this one aspect, if you are mass producing boards like charcuterie boards or coasters or something like that, I think it works really well. I don't do a lot of that. I do more like one-off custom pieces, and so they work really well when I want to pop out a couple of charcuterie boards when I have some extra time and I'll make some quick cash. But as far as like most of my business comes from custom stuff, it doesn't really go with my business as much. They're still great though. Like, I totally think that they're worth it. Coleman says, have you done a video with your rum color? No, I haven't. But I'll pose the question to you guys. Okay, rum is like such a specific color. It's brown. It's the color of wood, right? What wood would you use with that rum color? Would you use something super light? Let me know. Guys, give me your preference and I'll do it. I'll go get some of that wood and we'll use that rum color so you guys can see. Steve Noah says, hit that like button, people. He rocks for helping us all. Steve, I really appreciate that, man. I really do. Doyle Lee says, yes, we did. Power was on for 15 minutes and off for hours. Crazy. Doyle, how long did that go on for? How many weeks? Or was it a week, or like how long was it? Bruce says, do you think that color of epoxy is going to more see-through colors rather than deep blues? Hey, Bruce, what are you talking about? The purple that we poured today? Can you be more specific, please? Steve Noah says birch, something light colored. Yeah, I agree. I think that's a hard one with the rum color, but maple burl, that's super light. We could probably do something with some maple burl. I think that'd be really pretty. I'll think about that. Aaron says, try it on juniper, dude. Brown might look good with that. Yeah, juniper, actually I have some juniper trees in my yard that we're about to cut down. But yeah, definitely something lighter, I agree. Doyle says 3 to 4 days here at my place. Some places we're out for a month. That is crazy. Super crazy. Aaron Hungate, he said juniper. You know, holly is like almost white. That would be kind of cool. Coleman and Jennifer says agree, something lighter. Coleman says some of the rainbow work from your last video. Oh, he's talking about the rainbow poplar, I think, right? From my last video. Yeah, that wood is nuts, man. So it's actually pretty crazy because some of that rainbow poplar has blue in it, and that happens to be like the most rare color when it comes to poplar is the blue. But man, that was sweet, wasn't it? The only issue, I don't know if you saw on the slabs, there were like these rectangular slits like right in the middle, and it was from when the guy was cutting the tree down, he just poked the chainsaw into it and it popped through. And he has these little slits going across. That was the only, yeah, so it kind of messed that one up. But it's, you know, whatever. We could fill it in. And Coleman says, yes, like that color with the brown. Terrence says, ash or holly if it's dried correctly to stay super white. Yeah, I agree. It would be kind of like washed out if we did brown with brown or something like that. And I don't think black walnut, I think dark and the brown may not go well either. So I think you guys are onto something there. Well, guys, thank you for watching. I'm going to go ahead and probably cut it here. If you guys have any other questions, please shoot them up here. If you want to support Goodview Woodworks, I recommend maybe going through, when you go to buy stuff on Amazon, just click the links that I have in the videos, and that definitely, it doesn't cost you anything at all. I'm just an affiliate with Amazon, and if you go to them through my door, I get a very small commission on that, and every little bit helps. And then also Patreon, that is just a place where you can support me, and I would really appreciate it. If not, that's cool too, man. I like hanging out with everybody on live streams on Tuesday. And so another way would just be to, I got some merch up on the website, to go over there, get yourself a Goodview hat. It's black, but look at this thing. It's got dust all over it from sanding. But you can get one of these Goodview hats. They're pretty dope, as I like to say. So Bruce says bright blues and greens are nice, but I'm seeing more lighter color and I see through likely only just a little color. Oh, okay. So Bruce, let me answer that question real quick. So yeah, I mean, you're kind of right. The lighter colors, you need more pigment, so it's not so it's opaque and not translucent. Okay, so that's kind of the rule of thumb. But I always check when I mix it. I'll pour a little bit in a clear cup, the thickness of my slab, so I can tell how translucent or opaque it is, and add more if I need it. You can't take it out. So add just a little bit at a time until you get the proper opacity. Okay. Steve says, thanks again for doing this and helping us all. Geneva says, your last video really made me think. I wouldn't have thought a storefront like that would have so much wood. I know, it was crazy. He's a good friend of mine. He started doing antique stuff because that's what he likes, but he also happens to be a woodworker and he really likes that too, so he jumped onto it. Steve No says, the sweatshirts rock. Rick rock. Steve, yeah, I really like them. Obviously, it's too hot today to wear them, but yeah, those things are super comfortable, man. Soft and everything. And Bruce Mayer says, where do you sell your stuff? So I sell my stuff on goodviewwoodworks.com. So you can go there, and if you're talking about the merch, it's there. And also, if you're talking about like a charcuterie board or something like that, you can hit me up on Instagram or Facebook, or send me a direct message through my website, and we can go over it from there. All right, guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and head out now. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of Shop Talk Tuesday, man. This is one of my favorite times during the week. You guys rock. I love you all, and I will catch you on the next one. Thanks for hanging out with us. Good night, everybody.